Hello, my friends. Let me ask you something. Do you ever find yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., your body tired but your mind wide awake? You know you need to sleep, but it just won't come. And when it finally does, you're woken up just an hour or two later, feeling that familiar wave of frustration. That feeling isn't just frustrating. It's a warning sign. For millions of Americans over 60, waking up multiple times a night isn't just a nuisance. It's a silent threat that research shows can double your risk of a dangerous fall. It fogs your memory the next day and puts a terrible, silent strain on your heart over time. What should be your safe haven, your bed, can become a very lonely and dangerous place. But what if I told you that for many, the answer isn't another prescription pill with a long list of side effects? What if the solution could be found right in your kitchen spice rack? As a doctor who has treated seniors for over 40 years, I was skeptical at first. But what I saw with my own patients, well, it turned my understanding completely upside down. I'm thinking of my patient, John, a wonderful 72-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio. He used to wake up 4, sometimes 5 times a night. He was terrified of becoming a burden on his wife, Mary. He told me, his voice trembling just a little, "Doc, I feel like my mind is slipping away from me every morning." John's story, and his incredible turnaround, is exactly why I had to make this video for you today. In the next few minutes, we are going to uncover the 3 midnight mistakes that are sabotaging your sleep without you even realizing it. And then, I will reveal the one common spice that, when used correctly, can help your body achieve up to 8 hours of deep, uninterrupted rest. It's simple, it's safe, and it costs just pennies. And please, I urge you to stay with me until the very end. The final piece of advice I'll share has nothing to do with spices, but it is a simple self-check you can do tonight that could be the most important health discovery you make all year. This information might just save you, or someone you love, a trip to the emergency room. Now, everything we discuss today is grounded in both timeless wisdom and modern clinical observation. This isn't about magic. It's about understanding how our bodies change as we age and giving them the gentle support they truly need. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of you have faced this. If what I just shared feels familiar, please comment a simple yes below. It shows me you understand, and more importantly, it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Alright, my friends. We've acknowledged the problem together. Now, let's arm ourselves with the knowledge to fix it. We are going to walk through the 3 most common, yet easily fixable midnight mistakes that are stealing your precious sleep. Let's begin with the first one. Mistake number 1. The healthy glass of water before bed. We all know that staying hydrated is one of the cornerstones of good health. We've been told our entire lives to drink more water, and for good reason. But that well-intentioned big glass of water right on your nightstand, the one you take a final swig from before turning out the lights, it might just be your worst enemy after 8 p.m. It seems so innocent, so healthy. But for our bodies, especially as we move past the age of 60, it's like setting a ticking time bomb for our sleep cycle. Let's talk about what's really happening inside your body in the middle of the night. You see, sleep isn't just about being unconscious. It's a highly active process with different stages. The most important stage for us is deep sleep. This is where the magic happens. It's when your body does its most critical repair work on a cellular level, when it heals muscles, and most importantly, when your brain cleans itself out, filing away important memories and getting rid of toxic waste that builds up during the day. This deep sleep cleaning process is absolutely essential for maintaining a sharp mind and a healthy body as we age. Now, when you drink a lot of fluid right before bed, you're setting a timer. As we get older, our bladder muscles, like any other muscle in the body, naturally lose some of their elasticity and holding capacity. It's a simple plumbing issue, really. The system just can't hold as much overnight as it used to when we were 30. This is a perfectly normal part of aging, but we have to adjust our habits to work with our bodies, not against them. So, when that bladder reaches its capacity at 2 or 3 in the morning, it sends an urgent signal to your brain. Wake up. Time to go. Even if you're a heavy sleeper and don't fully wake up, that signal is strong enough to pull you out of that precious, restorative deep sleep and into a much lighter stage of sleep. You might think you're sleeping through it, but your brain is not. You're getting what we in the medical community call shallow sleep or fragmented sleep. You're spending the night hovering just below the surface of wakefulness, never truly descending into the depths where real restoration occurs. This is precisely why you can be in bed for 8 full hours, yet wake up feeling groggy, with aching joints, a foggy head, and a short temper. Your body never got to do its deep cleaning and repair work. You feel unrest because, on a cellular level, you are unrest. That feeling of brain fog isn't just in your head. It's a direct result of your brain not having the chance to properly flush out those toxins. The itchiness in your knees and back is amplified because your body didn't get the uninterrupted time it needed to reduce inflammation. It's a chain reaction, all starting with that seemingly harmless glass of water. This isn't just a theory. Major sleep research foundations have published numerous studies confirming that these micro-awakenings, even the ones you don't remember, are incredibly disruptive to your long-term health. I saw this firsthand with a patient of mine, Brenda. She was a lovely, sharp-as-a-tack retired schoolteacher in her late 70s. She came to my office deeply worried. She told me she was convinced her memory was failing. She was forgetting names, struggling with her beloved Sunday crossword puzzle, and she was terrified it was the beginning of a serious cognitive decline. During our conversation, I asked her about her sleep. "Oh, I sleep fine," she said, "but I do have to get up to use the restroom about 3, maybe 4 times a night." That was the clue. It turned out, Brenda was a big believer in hydration and would drink a huge glass of iced water right before bed every single night. Her body was so chronically deprived of deep sleep that her cognitive function was suffering. It wasn't her memory that was failing, it was her sleep. We made one simple change. Just one. And the solution is what I call the 90-minute rule. It's incredibly simple. You can and should drink all the water you want throughout the entire day. But you must stop all liquids, and that includes tea or juice, 90 minutes before your head is scheduled to hit the pillow. That hour and a half gives your body enough time to process the fluid and empty your bladder before you settle in for the night. For Brenda, this one change was revolutionary. Within 2 weeks, she called my office, overjoyed. Her mind was clear again. She had finished the entire crossword puzzle without any help. She felt like herself again. If this makes sense to you, and you're willing to give this simple rule a try, I'd love for you to comment 90 minutes below. It's not just a comment. It's a small commitment you make to yourself for a better night's rest. Mistake number 2. The blue light betrayal. Alright, let's move on to the second mistake. This one is more modern, a problem our parents and grandparents never had to face, and it's happening in nearly every home in America. It's the habit of doing that one last check of the news on your tablet, scrolling through pictures of your grandkids on your phone, or even just falling asleep with the television on in the background. We see it as a way to wind down, to catch up with the world. But what you're actually doing is committing an act of betrayal against your own brain. Here's the science, explained simply. Your brain has a master clock that's been perfected over thousands of years of human evolution. It's designed to respond to one primary signal, light. When your eyes see bright, blue-toned light, your brain thinks one thing: it's morning. Time to be alert. That blue light, the very kind that radiates from our phones, tablets, computers, and TV screens, is like a shot of espresso for your brain. It triggers a cascade of chemical reactions, the most important of which is shutting down the production of a hormone called melatonin. You've probably heard of it. Melatonin is your natural sleep hormone. It's the Sandman that gently tells every cell in your body that it's nighttime, and it's time to power down, relax, and repair. So when you're lying in your dark bedroom, looking at that bright screen, you are sending 2 completely opposite signals to your body. Your dark room is saying, sleep, but the blue light is screaming, wake up. It's like hitting the brakes and the gas pedal at the exact same time. Your body is thrown into a state of total confusion. Now, here is why this becomes particularly destructive as we get older. First, as we age, the lenses in our eyes can become less clear, making them more sensitive to glare and this harsh, artificial light. But more importantly, our bodies naturally produce melatonin less efficiently than they did when we were younger. We already have less of our own sleep hormone to work with. So when we expose ourselves to blue light at night, we are suppressing a melatonin supply that is already dwindling. This makes us far more vulnerable to this digital disruption than our children or grandchildren are. They might be able to get away with it, but for us, it can be devastating to a good night's rest. This is the root cause of that awful, tired but wired feeling. Your body is physically exhausted, but your mind is racing, unable to shut off. You lie there, tossing and turning, and when you finally do drift off, it's a light, anxious, and unsatisfying sleep because your brain never truly got the clear, unambiguous signal to power down for the night. You're essentially sleeping with one eye open, metaphorically speaking. The science on this is crystal clear, and it's not up for debate. Think of it like this. For countless generations, humans rose with the soft light of the sun and went to sleep with the darkness of the moon and the warm, orange glow of a fire. In just the last couple of decades, we've introduced an artificial, midday sun directly into our bedrooms, and our ancient biology simply hasn't caught up. It's confused. I had a patient, George, a 68-year-old man with high blood pressure who was a devoted nightly news watcher. He would fall asleep every single night with the TV blaring. He complained of constant fatigue and high morning blood pressure readings. I challenged him to make a change. The fix is simple, but it does take discipline. I told him to declare his bedroom a no-screen sanctuary for 1 full hour before his intended bedtime. This meant no TV, no computer, and this was the hard part for him, charging his phone in the kitchen overnight, not on his nightstand. Instead, I encouraged him to read a real paper book under a soft, warm-colored lamp, to listen to some calming music, to simply talk with his wife. After about a month, he came back for a follow-up. He proudly showed me his blood pressure log. His morning readings had dropped by an average of 10 points. 10 points. Not from a new pill, but from letting his brain gently and naturally drift into slumber the way it was designed to. This can be a tough habit to break. I know it is. It's become a part of our nightly ritual. So let's show some support for each other. If you're willing to try creating a no-screen sanctuary in your own bedroom, please comment "Power Down" below. It's a way to encourage yourself and to let others know they're not the only ones making this important change. Mistake number 3. The unspoken anxiety cycle and the spice solution. We've dealt with the physical triggers, the full bladder, the blue light. But now we must address the biggest, most difficult mistake of all. It's the one that keeps the mind racing even when you're in a perfectly dark, quiet room. It's letting the worry in. Lying there, staring into the darkness, as a slideshow of anxieties plays in your mind. Thinking about the bills, the health of your children, a doctor's appointment next week, a strange noise the car was making. It's a poison for sleep. When you start to worry, your body doesn't know the difference between a real threat, like a tiger at your door, and a perceived threat, like a credit card bill. It reacts the same way. It releases the powerful stress hormone, cortisol. You've probably heard of cortisol. It's your fight or flight hormone. Its entire job is to keep you awake, alert, and ready for action in the face of danger. It raises your heart rate, tenses your muscles, and sharpens your senses. When you are lying in bed worrying, you are literally flooding your own body with a chemical that is telling it, "Do not sleep. There is a threat. Stay awake." It's impossible to fall into a peaceful, deep sleep when your internal alarm system is blaring. And here's the most insidious part. The first 2 mistakes we talked about feed this anxiety cycle directly. When you are already sleep-deprived from getting up to use the bathroom or from blue light exposure, your emotional resilience is at an all-time low. Small worries that you might easily brush off during the day become giant, terrifying monsters in the quiet of the night. It becomes a vicious, downward spiral that can feel absolutely impossible to escape. The less you sleep, the more you worry. And the more you worry, the less you sleep. This is the source of that terrifying jolt awake at 1 a.m. with your heart pounding in your chest. It's the cause of that cold sweat, that sudden feeling of dread that can steal your peace for the rest of the night, leaving you exhausted and defeated by the time the sun rises. But this, my friends, is where we fight back. This is where we break the cycle. This is where my patient John, the retired mechanic I mentioned at the beginning, found his small miracle. And it comes from one of the oldest, most humble, and most comforting spices in the world. It's not some exotic, expensive supplement. It is a single, whole clove. Now, I need you to hear me very, very carefully. The instructions are precise and important. You do not chew it, and you do not swallow it. Tonight, about 30 minutes before you plan to go to bed, you will take one single, whole, dried clove and place it between your cheek and your gum, much like you might with a piece of hard candy or a cough drop. And you just let it rest there. That's it. As it sits there, the clove will very slowly release its natural compounds, including a powerful substance called eugenol. Eugenol has been known for centuries for its mild calming and gentle numbing properties. It's why clove oil has traditionally been used for toothaches. But that's not the main reason we are using it here. The clove is not a drug. It is a sensory anchor. The gentle, warming, slightly sweet, and spicy flavor that slowly infuses your mouth gives your racing mind something neutral and pleasant to focus on, other than your worries. It acts as a pattern interrupt. It breaks the anxiety loop. Instead of your mind being able to spiral into worry, it is gently tethered to this simple, physical sensation. It is a subtle but powerful signal to your entire nervous system that it's time to be still, to be quiet, and to let go. Now, I must be crystal clear about something. This is a tool, not a cure-all. It works best as part of a holistic approach, especially when you have also addressed the other mistakes, like managing your fluid intake and eliminating blue light. And this is absolutely vital. You must use only one whole clove. In this case, more is definitely not better. It is a gentle technique, not a brute force one. As with any change you make to your health routine, no matter how small, please mention it to your family doctor during your next visit, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions or take regular medication. Your safety always comes first. This may be a completely new idea to many of you, I'm sure. If you just learned something surprising that you might be willing to try, please take a moment and comment, "Wow," in the comments below. It's always wonderful for me to see when a simple piece of old wisdom can still bring a little bit of wonder and hope. So, what happened to John, the retired mechanic from Ohio who was waking up 4 or 5 times every single night? Well, after just 2 weeks of faithfully applying these simple changes, following the 90-minute rule for liquids, turning off the TV an hour before bed, and using that one small clove to calm his racing mind, he came into my office with a smile I hadn't seen on his face in years. A genuine, rested smile. He put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Doc, I'm sleeping clear through the night. Mary says I don't even snore as much. Today, John is thriving. He has the energy to get on the floor and play with his grandkids. He's back in his garage, tinkering with that old pickup truck he loves so much. In his own words, he got his life back." The powerful lesson here, my friends, is that you have so much more control over your health and your sleep than you might think. True wellness isn't about complicated machines or expensive prescription pills with a long list of frightening side effects. It's about making small, wise changes. It's about listening to your body and trusting in the gentle, healing power of nature and the common sense that has served us well for generations. These simple steps we've discussed are proof that you can take back control of your nights, and in doing so, take back control of your days. As we wrap up our time together, remember that knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one very important question for you. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself this week after watching this video? It could be as simple as, "I will follow the 90-minute rule." Or perhaps, "I will charge my phone in the kitchen." Or maybe, you'll promise yourself to give the simple clove a try to quiet your mind. Please, share your personal commitment in the comments below. Your promise is a powerful first step, and seeing it might just be the inspiration someone else needs to take theirs. And finally, if this video was helpful to you, if it gave you a little bit of hope or a new idea to try, I would be so grateful if you would click that like button. To make sure you don't miss our future conversations, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining our wonderful community of friends here, all of us dedicated to living our golden years with health, with dignity, and with joy. And please, think of one person in your life right now, someone you love who is struggling with their sleep, and share this video with them. A simple share from you. It could truly change their life. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me today. God bless, and sleep well.